devotees and friends. We are in a special mission. We started a new project, a new mission, and this is very interesting and very, it will be helping us to develop our devotion and faith to Sri Sri Guru Maharaj, Acharya Swami Pranavananda Ji Maharaj. So the title of our subject, what we're going to discuss today, Acharya Swami Pranavananda, the Unforgettable Tale of an Indian Yogi. I mentioned a couple of times that whenever we visit a temple of Bharat Sevashram Sangh, we see Guru Maharaj picture or murti in the middle of the altar. And most of us really do not know detail of the life and activities of our Guruji. So it is our effort to make everybody understand and realize the greatness of our great Gurudev, Acharya Swami Pranavananda Ji Maharaj. This is an wonderful project, and devotees, I promise you, if you are with me, and you will taste true divinity at your tongue, at your ear, and throughout your body, your mind, and your soul. So before I take you to the main subject, let us togetherly do pranam to the lotus feet of our Gurudev. Om Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Deva Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Akhanda Mandala Karam Vyaptam Yena Characharam Tatpadam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Tvameva Mata Cha Pita Tvameva Bandhuscha Sakha Tvameva Vidya Dravinam Tvameva Sarvang Mamo Deva Deva Tvameva Sarvang Mamo Deva Deva. Today we'll be starting from meditative nature of Vinod. We started this topic, but I could not finish last day, so I thought, let me start from here. Meditative nature of Vinod. We all know Vinod is the young age name of Acharya Swami Pranavananda Ji. So let me read for you. Vinod was a born yogi. He was born with all yoga secrecy. His appearance, his exceptional behaviors, his gentle natures, his walking, his talking, his eating, his sitting, and his resting, everything was different from other boys. He was born to change the world. He came to lead people towards the path of divinity. He took a human form to be a human only, but he was exceptionally dissimilar than others. Meditation was in his blood. He himself mentioned one time, 5 to 6 hours of meditation was very normal to me when I was little even. Could see Guruji telling that 5 to 6 hours of meditation he practiced when he was very young. In meditation, he went deep in his thought of infinite God. In deeper state of meditation, he lost his independent identity and merged in eternity. When he was little, he made a clay Shiva Lingam and offered some flowers and leaves. He then meditated at the auspicious appearance of Lord Shiva hours of time, just sitting in front of the clay Shiva Lingam. At a later period of time, sitting at village cremation ground, he spent long hours of meditation. He always said that a yogi meditates when everybody sleeps. It's the night time, we all sleep. But that is the time for meditation for yogis. Accordingly, he spent countless sleepless nights meditating on the true self. You know that the 10 divine messages of Acharya Swami Pranavananda Ji Maharaj, the first message, what is the goal of life? Self-realization and universal emancipation. So you could see here when he was young. Accordingly, he spent countless sleepless nights meditating on true self. There was time when he was completely lost in meditation. He had no ideas of days and nights. It was time when he had no sense of his body even. Many times it happens like he forgot his daily needs and his elder sister Hemangini Devi called him to take some food. At this time, nobody taught him how to meditate and what to meditate. Like in modern days, people go to a meditation classes to learn the techniques of meditation. You know, nowadays people go to attend a meditation class. There is a meditation teacher, a yoga teacher. They teach you how to sit, how to, put your neck and the body straight, and what to meditate, how to meditate. All these techniques we learn. But it was village Bajitpur. There's nobody who could teach. Really, nobody knew what is meditation at all. So at this time, nobody taught him how to meditate and what to meditate. Like in modern days, people go to meditation classes to learn techniques of meditation. But Brahmachari Vinod was born with all these qualities. People who were much bigger than his age used to be surprised to see his saintly qualities. There were so many ways of meditation one can practice that if we read Shiva Mahapuran, Lord Shiva gave 6 types of meditation. So here at night, sometimes he meditated on Divya Jyoti or divine light. He withdrew his senses, all senses from outside world, and centered his mind at the middle of his eyebrows. With all his body, mind, thoughts, incoming and outgoing breaths, he focused on that Divya Jyoti light right here. Sadhu Vinod was lost in vast eternal light. There was times when he practiced Kundalini meditation. You heard of the Kundalini meditation. Whenever you attend a yoga class, probably your yoga teacher may have mentioned that. So there were times when he practiced Kundalini meditation. He centers his whole physical system in awakening the sleeping Kundalini, the sleeping serpent coil. Hatha Yoga gave description of Kundalini Shakti this way. All around our spinal columns, there are 7 chakras, wheels. They give the picture also that those who are interested, you could Google search what is Kundalini meditation, you will know more. Hatha Yoga gave description of Kundalini Shakti this way. All around our spinal columns, there are 7 chakras. The root of the backbone is known as Muladhara chakra. This is a Sanskrit word. The abdomen area is known as Swadhisthana chakra. Chakra is the wheel kind of thing. The navel area of spinal column is known as Manipura Chakra. The middle of the chest is known as Anahata Chakra, right here, Anahata Chakra. The throat area is known as Vishuddha Chakra, right here. And the middle of the two eyebrows on forehead is known as Agya Chakra. Finally, on top of the head, the middle area is known as Sahasrara Chakra. This area, 1,000-petal lotus. A yogi, with his determination and continuous practice, go through all these chakras and one day attain self-realization. It's a matter of practice. Brahmachari Vinod practiced on these 7 chakras for a long period of time. He went deep into it. He gone through these chakras one after another and enjoyed divinity. Sometimes he just thought over the birth, life, death, and life beyond. So these are different ways of meditation and different ways of self-analyzation. Sometimes we practice meditation on Divya Jyoti, light. Sometimes we practice Kundalini meditation. Other time we think of the life, birth, death, and life beyond. Other times he practice pranayama or breathing techniques. Comparing to his age, and in that village environment where there was no experienced religious teachers available, Brahmachari Vinod was extremely exceptional. In this way, he moved forward towards the purpose. He came to this world, and that's how he said, this is his message. One person excavates a pond, and thousands of people are benefited from it. I read again. One person excavates a pond, and thousands of people are benefited from it. Similarly, one person does a tapasya, spiritual practices, spiritual austerity, and millions of people take advantage of it. Our duty is to take shelter and keep our faith intact under the blessed soul of Sri Sri Guru Maharaj, Acharya Swami Pranavananda ji Maharaj. And now I will be taking you, because he was very young those days, about his physical strength. His physical strength. It's a very interesting topic, and you will enjoy it. Let me read slowly for you. In general, people think meat, fish, egg, all those non-vegetarian food make people strong, stout, and healthy. This is how, in general, people believe. There are many homes who proudly say that only once in a week they eat vegetarian food. I hear in the temple in New Jersey, in this beautiful temple in New Jersey, sometimes people come, they say, Swamiji, today is Thursday, so we'll be taking vegetarian meal. So I asked, what about the other days? So other 6 days, they take non-veg meal. So there are many homes who proudly say that once in a week they eat vegetarian. They take non-vegetarian meal. There are families who sadly say that they are unable to supply meat, fish, eggs to their children because of lack of money. Sometimes parents come to temple and they tell me also. They wonder how their children will be strong in future if they could not supply meat, fish, eggs, all those kind of food. Though practically, comparing to others, their children are not doing so bad at all. They're doing good. They're healthy and they're doing good in school. So these are basically mental sickness. In the name of public health and to fulfill our sinful belly, We kill thousands of innocent and helpless animals daily, and we do it mercilessly. No forgiveness. If we look in jungle, the biggest and most powerful animal is elephant. And what elephant eats? Simple green leaves. Look at this modern day world. All over the world, how people die of deadly diseases of cancer. Sloan Kettering Hospital, right here where I stay in New York. Cancer patients coming from all over the world, especially rich people. So all over the world, how people die of deadly diseases of cancer, heart failures, diabetes, kidney failures, and other illness. Instead of finding its real causes, billions of dollars are spent in medical bills. We don't like to attend yoga classes. We don't want to do the daily exercise or walking or some jogging, but we don't mind to go to the hospital clinic and sit down there hours. Nobody talks of bad food habit. Nobody discusses a bad lifestyle, and no one mentions of the results of negative kind of thoughts, harmful thoughts. There is a silent cry, but no one wants to come to public and say its remedies. These are the practical things, because I, being a monk, I sit in temple every day. People come, they express their agonies. However, we are not here to glorify the greatness of vegetarian food. We are not. Our subject is not. We are here to inform you that how Brahmachari Binod was physically very strong. Though he took simple potato boil and rice, or he took some simple vegetarian meal, we mentioned before that Brahmachari Binod had a big size body. Guruji has a very big body. And he covered it by a piece of milk white cloth. He was steady. He was quiet in nature. He used to sit down at one place for a long period of time. Though not everybody, but some people believed that Binod was in big size, but practically he was not so strong. Some people in village, they thought of that, because Binod used to take only vegetarian meal, very simple vegetarian meal. Even his father also thought the same way, you could imagine. But a couple of incidents that took place in the village, it broke this mistake of all. I'm bringing these stories to you because it will help us to understand our Gurudev better, and it will be helping us to keep our faith intact at the lotus feet of our Sadgurudev, Acharya Swami, Pranavananda Ji Maharaj. Because Bharat Sevashram Sangha is one of the largest monastic mission of India. Millions of people are related, they are attached to our organization. They are worshipping 3 times Acharya Swami Pranavananda Ji, Sri Sri Guru Maharaj, and it will be helping them so much to understand their spiritual master. First incident. There was a tyrant in the village who was frightening simple village people for no reason, like bullies. First incident, there was a tyrant in the village who was frightening simple village people for no reason. He harassed people for nothing. He was threatening people to beat them, and his general behavior was very annoying to the peaceful villagers at Bajitpur. Everybody was afraid of him, and not finding any solution, they remained quiet. Binod was not aware of all this happening. He was at his own world. But later, he heard of everything from some other people who were annoyed by this tormentor. There was a small market at village Bajitpur. We living in cities, it's very difficult for us to understand. But if you imagine that a distant village and mud road, people plowing land with cow, and walking bare feet. Once in a week, there is a village bazaar. People bring their things. Just imagining, because I live in America, so sometimes I go to see the village of America. But even if you go to the village of America, it's so different from the village we are talking here. Anyway, coming to the topic, there was a small market at Bajitpur village. People brought their home products, things to sell here, and then they brought things, what was necessary. They bought things, what was necessary for them. So they brought their home product to sell, and they bought things, what was needed for their family. It is a kind of weekly flea market. Today was a bazaar day. There were lots of people came from far distant villages. Nearby small canal was full of small boats, because people used to bring things by boat. I mentioned before that Bangladesh is full of rivers, canals, water reservoirs. So people use boats to go one place to other. Near my small village, canal was full of small boats as people travel by boats from their homes. These people wanted to go back home before evening. The Prabhukar was there as usual. He was harassing people unnecessarily. Brahmachari Binod made up his mind, and he was standing under a tree waiting for the villain to come. Guru Maharaj was waiting for him. He tied his cloth tight around his waist, and his two very strong hands were resting two sides of his waist. As soon as the rascal came near to him, he asked with harsh voice, "Hey, I heard you were threatening village people, cursing and harassing them needlessly." The man was shocked to hear it. As he was a very strong person, he thought no one can challenge him front to front. He rudely replied, "Yes, I did. Why? I will curse them, I will beat them, and I will make their life a hell." These are like bully. Who are you to ask me? Get out from my way. Otherwise, the guy could not finish his word. Within a moment, Binod held his 2 feet, lifted him up in air, and threw him couple of feet away. Guru Maharaj took his feet and threw away. The rascal was wounded. He ran towards Brahmachari Binod. He fell at his feet and said, "Bhuya." Bhuya was the last name of the Guru Maharaj. You know that it was actually Binod Bhuya. So that's why village people used to call him Bhuya also. The rascal was wounded. He ran towards Brahmachari Binod. He fell at his feet and said, "Bhuya, you are my godfather. Please forgive me. I will never do this again. Let me go." You could see how Guru Maharaj. News spread of this incident all around like wildfire. After hearing it, everybody was very happy. They thought that they could now live with peace in village. They could do things without any fear. They were also happy to hear that scoundrel is being punished badly. With this happening, people started to love and admire Binod more. He became very dear to the village people. Now people know that Brahmachari Binod was strong. So this is one of the incident of his young, because he used to take simple vegetarian meal, and in village Bengal is very difficult to get vegetarian food even. Another incident. Another day, some sawyers were trying to cut a big piece of wood. Vishnucharan Bhuya, the father of Brahmachari Binod himself, was looking after it. Guru Maharaj's father was looking after it. The piece of wood was needed to lift up and set up properly so that the sawyers can cut it into pieces easily. Fortunately, at this moment, Binod was passing by that way. sawyers requested him if he could help them a little bit to set up the piece of wood properly. There were almost 14 to 15 people, and mostly neighbors were standing around there. With a gentle smile at his face, Binod asked everybody to move away. Thereafter, with his two strong hands, he alone lifted that heavy piece of wood and placed it where it needed to keep. Seeing this incident, his father was shocked. Guru Maharaj's father was shocked. His long nourished thoughts that vegetarian Binod was physically weak, it broke that day. Guru Maharaj's father always thought that his son Binod was weak because he ate vegetarian food. He realized that comparing to his other children, Binod was much stronger. So this is actually giving an idea, Guru Maharaj, how he was so strong. Another incident. At eastern part of Bengal, the place was full of rivers. People used various sizes of boats to travel place to places. You just could imagine with closed eyes, because we're living in cities, everybody has private cars, or they go out, buses are ready. But we're talking of villages, and everywhere is canals, rivers. Rainy day, especially June, July, August, a flood is there. People go home to home also using boat. It's very difficult life. So as East Bengal was full of rivers, people used various sizes of boats to travel place to places. When a new boat is made, usually people put it under shallow water for months. They do it because in this way, pieces of wood of the boat become strong, mature properly, and its leakages are corrected. Once Brahmachari Binod was going somewhere in that village, he recognized some people were trying to pull out one of this new boat from water. Boat was under water maybe 3 months, or some village people was trying to bring the boat out of the water. They tried their best, but the boat was so heavy and full of water, and the river was full of water, they were unable to bring it out. In the meantime, they saw Brahmachari Binod was passing by the same way. They requested him to help them to bring out the boat from water. Binod thought for a while, and then he decided to help them. The work 7 to 8 people could not do together, he alone did it, and the boat was out of water. Those who were present there were shocked to see the physical strength of Binod Sadhu. This incident, when I will be taking you at a later period of time, and the Guru Maharaj sometimes, after night meal, when monks and devotees used to sit around him, he used to tell his childhood stories, how he brought this boat out of water when people were standing and they could not bring the boat out of water. There was another occasion when some people were cutting a big tree, his village. They were cutting a big tree in a nearby area. When they already cut around 12% of the tree, it suddenly fell down with loud noise. However, they were trying to cut the rest of the tree from its root, but they were unable to do it. They tried and tried and tried, but failed to finish the job. People who were cutting the tree got tired and frustrated also. At this situation, they recognized Binod Sadhu was going somewhere by the same way. They were happy to see him. They requested him if they could help them to separate the tree from its root. First, Binod expressed his unwillingness to do it. However, when they all together requested him repeatedly, he agreed. He asked everybody to move. He alone held the tree tight by his two hands. This story he himself told many times at a later period of time. He alone held the tree tight, and with one pull, he separated the huge tree from its root. Everyone standing there was shocked to see his physical strength. At a later period of time, he told this story to his followers that how he alone took the tree to his shoulder and moved it. I brought all this small incident to you so that it help us to understand our Guruji better. Around 8 to 10 people was trying to bring a boat out of water to give coal tar, to bring the boat out of water, to give coal tar, so that they could seal all holes. Around 8 to 10 people were trying to bring a boat out of water to give coal tar at its backside so that it could seal all holes. It also gives longevity of life of a boat more. Like how in America, especially, I see every home has car, 2, 3, some home has 4 cars. Similarly, in villages, they must have a boat, because that's not, now things change. After some time, he approached to them. Vinod saw it from distance. People are trying to bring the boat out again. After some times, he approached to them and said, "You people are so weak. I see you together 10 people here, and still you failed to bring the boat out of water." Later, he tied his cloth around his waist. He held the thick rope of the boat, and within a moment, he alone brought the boat out of water. There was another day, he just finished his regular exercise. This is very interesting. Guruji, used to take the 2 big mace like Hanumanji Gada, and he used to do 2,000 times every day. So there was another day, he just finished his regular exercise, and he sat down at floor, resting his back with the wall of their house. The brick wall was almost 20 inches thick. Mr. Satish Das was also sitting with him. Suddenly, Brahmachari Binod said to him, "See, Satish, if I wish, I can break these joints of 2 walls within just 1 kick." Guruji was so strong. He said, "This strong wall, if I give 1 kick, it will break." That is how he was strong, and that is how he believed in his own power. Kumar Bimalendu Roy was the landlord or Jomindar of Balihar village of Naugao district. Naugao is a district presently falls in Bangladesh. Kumar Bimalendu Roy, the Jomindar or landlord of Balihar village of Naugao district, was a highly educated person. He was also famous for his physical strength. Once, during the period of annual festival of Naugao Sevashram, he came to visit the place. Naugao, every ashram celebrate their foundation day. So one time, it was the time to celebrate Naugao Sevashram Foundation Day, and Kumar Bimalendu Rai came to visit the ashram. By that time, Acharya Swami Pranavananda Maharaj was also present at Naugao Sevashram. At ashram, Mr. Roy first met Swami Onkaranandaji, who was busy arranging things for the festival. Jomindar Mr. Roy said to him, "Swamiji, if your Guruji can defeat me in elbow wrestling, then only I will accept him as a great person. I will accept him as my Guru." You could imagine, because he was strong. Swami Onkaranandaji said, usually he does not entertain this kind of things. However, who knows? Guruji might fulfill your good wish too. You please come with me and let me arrange a meeting for you with Guruji. Saying this, Swami Onkaranandaji introduced Kumar Bimalendu Roy with his master, and he came out of the room. After a long time, Mr. Roy came out of the room of Guruji with a smile at his face. He informed Swami Onkaranandaji that how he was badly defeated by his Guruji. And you could see the hand wrestling, and he was defeated. Once Brahmachari Binod was meditating at village cremation ground, Bajitpur cremation ground. The place was very quiet and scary too. He was deep into his meditation. Suddenly, he heard lots of noises. When he opened his eyes, he saw at the other side of the canal a house that belongs to a Muslim family was burning of fire. It was very common incident in villages as women cooked with dry wood, cow dung cake, dry leaves, and with dry rice plant. If you compare with city life, we go to the kitchen, we push the switch and the gas come out. It was not like that. So we could see here it was very common in villages as women cooked with dry wood, cow dung cake, dry leaves, and with dry rice plant. Most of the houses also was made of bamboos, wood, straw, and other kinds of easily flammable dry grasses. This to make the roofs. Men were yelling and grieving helplessly. Women were crying, and people did not know what to do. Fire was so high that nobody could even think and go close to the house anymore. Leaving his seat, Brahmachari Binod ran towards the burning house. He quickly collected two big sizes of earthen pot and started to fetch water from nearby pond. He threw it into the fire repeatedly. He engaged everybody to do the same. People who were gathered there began to bring water in buckets, pots, baskets, and big jugs. They all together started to throw water in the burning house. After some time, fire started to calm down and gradually stopped. You can imagine here we call 911, immediately fire brigade people come. But in villages, nothing was there. At another occasion, his big brother was going to Kolkata for some work. Kolkata was far from the village Bajitpur. You have to travel by small boat, then take a steamer because lots of rivers and canal. And the one night steamer journey, go to Khulna railway station. From Khulna, another one night journey to Kolkata. So it was far. Another occasion, his big brother was going to Kolkata for some work. Rajoir steamer station. I'm not sure, like how we do the boat journey or you took a cruise. You could imagine a small site. People used to travel like how we see buses. We travel by bus. Similarly, the steamer was like because lots of river, people used to go place to places using steamer. So Rajoir steamer station was almost 4 miles away from Bajitpur village. Brahmachari Binod took his brother at a small boat to drop him at a nearby place from where he could take another boat to reach Rajoir a little early. So when Brahmachari Binod came back home, he saw his brother's wife got cholera. Those days, now cholera is under control, but that was a bad time when cholera broke out. The village disappeared. There was nobody to burn the dead body even. Immediately, he left for Rajoir to reach his brother at the same small boat. The day he rowed the boat so fast that he reached his brother before he arrived at the Rajoir steamer station even. At a later period of time, he mentioned the incident this way. It was a day I paddled the boat so fast that it was almost flying on water. So I bring these few incidents just to show you how Acharya Swami Pranavananda Maharaj, when he was young, Brahmachari Binod, how physically he was so strong, even he took simple vegetarian meal. So that was the whole purpose to bring these incidents to you. And now I take you to another subject. It's interesting and serious. Bajitpur cremation ground. It's not a good subject. In society, you don't hear people talk of it. But in monastic life, cremation ground is very holy. because we monks go to the cremation ground, sit down, practice meditation, and realize the ultimate truth of life. So that incident I'm bringing in front of you. Bajitpur cremation ground. People are afraid to talk of cremation ground. In general, it is not a good subject to discuss. Everybody loves to celebrate one's birthday and achievements of life. We all celebrate our birthday. Swamiji, happy birthday to you. And we celebrate achievements of our life. Nevertheless, nobody wants to speak of death. However, birth, life, and death are normal procedures of existence. People think cremation ground is a fearful place. It is an auspicious, it is an inauspicious place to visit. Usually people think cremation ground is an inauspicious place to visit. If you think of a village cremation ground, we realize at least it is not a good place to visit. Lonely riverside, jungle area, or at open place with one or two tin shades, dead body burning at open fire, sad people wait to throw ashes in water, hungry street dogs, sometimes jackals, vultures and crows are around to eat the remain of a dead body. These are a picture of a village cremation ground. Burning woods are scattered all around the place. Left out clothes of the dead body can be found here and there. Broken pots, bones, and bad smell made the place fearful. This is the picture. To go alone at a cremation ground is an action of bravery. People are afraid to go to a nearby place of a cremation ground, especially at night time. They believe ghosts, goblins, and spirits are there to harm them. When someone died at villages, people made a bamboo platform. These are when somebody died at villages, people go to the jungle, cut a couple of pieces of bamboo, make a platform, and carry the dead body chanting Ram Nam Satya Hai or Bolo Hori Hari Bol. These it's difficult to understand also sitting in villages that here is so different, but these are the picture. And still these things happen in deep interior villages. When someone died at villages, people go to the jungle, cut a couple of pieces of bamboo, make a platform, carry the dead body, chanting Ram Nam Satya Hai or Bolo Hori. In cities, surrounding places of a cremation ground are little better. There are caretakers, places a little bit of clean, and there are arrangements of food, drinking waters, and a place for prayers and other necessary things. So these are the city story. I must say that some of the cremation grounds in cities are really very good. As cities are crowded of people, so dead bodies also come continuously. But at present days, most of the cities have electric furnaces. Why I'm bringing these topics, because it plays a very important role in the life of Acharya Swami Pranavananda ji. Even when we came to monastery as a young person, college student, when we joined, our senior monk is to send us to the nearby cremation ground, and they asked us to write an essay on birth and death, and they asked us to go sit down there and practice meditation. It's very important for monastic life. Because human mind is full of desires and hankerings and expectation. It's very uncontrollable. We cannot control our desire and hunger, physical hungers. So when you go to the cremation ground, sit down, see a dead body is burning, naturally things cool down. Hindus love to die beside the holy river Ganges. They wish that their bodies are cremated at the bank of the blessed river Ganges. Even I also dream, even though I'm living almost 29 years now out of India. If not, their last desire to throw ashes in Ganges river. This even I do. Sometimes I carry people ashes, go to the Ganges and drop it with some prayer. If not, their last desire is to throw ashes in Ganges water. It is because of this, many famous burning grounds are situated at the bank of the holy river Ganges, like Harishchandra Ghat, Manikarnika Ghat. These are the burning ground at the beside the river Ganges at Kashi Dham. Like Harishchandra Ghat, Manikarnika Ghat are famous burning grounds at the city of Varanasi. Kolkata Keoratala cremation ground is also very old and very famous. Hindu cremation grounds in Trinidad and Tobago. I write all these things because I visited. Hindu cremation grounds in Trinidad and Tobago, Guyana, Suriname, Uganda, and in South Africa, I personally visited. Hindu cremation grounds in Trinidad and Tobago, Guyana, Suriname, Uganda, and in South Africa are really good. They made these places like pilgrim centers, arrangement of priests, kirtan groups. Some places have a small Shiva temple. They have supply of enough food, drinking water, clean environment. All these together made these places free from fears. I personally visited some of the cremation grounds in Trinidad and Tobago in South Africa and some other places and saw how bhajan, kirtan, recitations from Holy Gita were going on while a dead body was burning in an open fire. It is sad environment, but religious sanctities are there very much. In United States of America and in Canada, things are completely different. We are just bringing all these things to make things understand a little better way. In the United States of America and in Canada, things are completely different. When someone die here, usually dead bodies goes to a hospital morgue. Family of deceased person communicate with a funeral home and they arrange everything. You just pay the bill. Complete package of one person funeral cost might go up to 10,000 to 15,000 US dollars, depending on financial capacity and wishes of the family. Arrangement could be done this way: one day viewing and next day cremation, or viewing and burning could be done at the same way. I went so many times to these funeral homes. Sometimes it is so difficult to participate. Ashes could be collected afterwards from funeral homes. Clean hearts carries the coffin to funeral home. Well-dressed and well-trained people are there to receive you at gates and help you to complete the ceremony, as they know the agony of people they go through at this time. When religious ceremonies are completed, the coffin is carried by 4 people to the furnace. These are the situation in USA and Canada. It was in the year of 1995. This is one story I'm telling you from my personal experience. It was in the year of early 1995. I just came to New York City and I was staying at the Jamaica area, Queens area. One day morning, while I was taking a walk, I went outside to take a walk. I saw a big open area with well-maintained green grasses and bunches of flowers here and there. At one side, there were lots of memory panel at ground. I also saw a few people was digging a hole with a machine. These things I never saw in India, actually. That was my first experience. First, I thought it was a flower garden. When I reached at the entrance gate of the place, I saw the sign. It says Maple Grove Cemetery, New York. Then I understood my mistakes. Basically, it was a burial ground. When I entered the place, I saw hundreds of marble slabs are at ground with deceased name, date of birth, and the date of their departure and engraved on it. Immediately, a kind of sadness invaded my mind, thinking, once these people walked at this beautiful planet Earth like me, and now they are silent permanently. I used to carry a Bhagavad Gita, sit under a tree at a bench, and I used to sit one chapter of Bhagavad Gita every morning. Now I'm bringing to Bajitpur. Bajitpur was a small village. Here there was a small cremation ground by the side of a canal. It was not an organized area, and this place was it has deep impact at young brahmachari Vinod. It was not an organized area. In fact, people were afraid to go there alone, even at daytime. It was a fearful place, but this was one of the most liked places for brahmachari Vinod. He loved this place more than anything else. He spent hours of time sitting here and immersed in the thoughts of the Supreme. So young Vinod used to go to the Bajitpur cremation ground, see the dead bodies kind of things, and he spent hours of time thinking of God. And this is our Guruji. Or he just practiced silent meditation. His thoughts went deep into the mystery of birth, life, and death. In general, people are busy running after to fulfill their hundreds of wishes. They're extremely busy to complete many of their duties and responsibilities. They build home, they buy land, they gather wealth, thinking they will enjoy these things eternally. Nobody thinks that their number of days are decreasing day by day, bit by bit. Good-looking human body turned to ashes within few hours of time. When, where, and to whom death will come, nobody knows it. Death do not wait for time, place, family, and duties. It just comes anytime, and at any moment it might come to anybody. Fortune, power, physical beauty, education, sadness of family, nothing can stop death. So many millions of people are already perished because of this uncertain death. Brahmachari Vinod spent many hours of time at this village cremation ground. He analyzed the temporary existence of this human body good. Then he went deep into his meditation. Outside, there was deep darkness. People were scared to think over cremation ground, and there was no need for them to go there. But Vinod sat down alone there, even longer time, practicing his silent meditation. This time, his younger brother, Bhola, Guruji's younger brother, Bhola, used to stand guard of him with a trident, with a trishul at his hand, so that no one gets scared of his big brother. He made it sure that no one disturbed his yogi brother. When this Bhola died suddenly, Brahmachari Vinod felt like his right hand was broken. In fact, Bhola, the younger brother of Vinod, was his first disciple. At his deathbed, he initiated him with the sacred name of God. Bhola expected his yogi brother may save his life from death, but that never happened because it is the wish of God and nobody can break this law. And this is more sad. These are all, put deep impact on the young Brahmachari Vinod life. A nephew of Brahmachari Vinod suddenly died at a very early age. A nephew of Brahmachari Vinod suddenly died at a very early age. He was buried at Bajitpur cremation ground. Unfortunately, the grave dug at ground was not so deep. While the body still not decomposed yet, jackals pulled it out of the grave for flesh. It's very scary. Brahmachari Vinod felt deep pain to see it. He collected the skull of his nephew, which was almost reduced to a skeleton. He washed it in nearby water. He then brought it to home and kept at his bedside. He spends hours of time thinking the future of a good-looking human body. Stoicism, or to be indifferent to the world, is one of the best known paths to be free from worldly desires. Right thoughts on birth, life, and death help a spiritual seeker move fast in his spiritual journey. Especially thoughts on death. It is counted as one of the most important yoga techniques to advance in spiritual life. Brahmachari Vinod spent countless sleepless nights looking at the skull and thinking of the impermanent nature of this human body. Once his immediate elder sister Hemangini was cleaning his room. She asked her brother about what was there under a piece of cloth. When Brahmachari Vinod uncovered the skull, she was shocked to see it. She screamed and said, "What is this? A human skull? Oh Lord, why you brought it inside the house? Don't you know that it is very inauspicious?" Brahmachari Vinod was very serious now. Words that came out of his mouth unfolded mystery of life beyond. Please listen what he said. Vinod was telling to his sister Hemangini Devi. He said, "This is the skull of your nephew. There were days when you all loved him so much. You all took him at your laps and showed so much of love. You all discussed about his future life and expected so much of him. Everybody enjoyed his sweet word, his simple face, his naughty nature. Look at him today by your own eyes. His flesh is eaten by jackals and dogs. See his end. Human birth is so temporary. Everybody has to die one day." His sister Hemangini was speechless. She had nothing to say anymore. Bajitpur cremation ground was the place where Brahmachari Vinod did most of his spiritual practices. The Bajitpur small cremation ground, when I was visiting Bajitpur, twice I visited. But if you visit now, things are changed because India divided and it became 3 countries. Situation completely changed. And maybe I will be starting a little bit, you could see that how Brahmachari Vinod practice his austerity. You read the life of many noble souls. You read the great life of many holy persons, great persons in life. But we really do not know what they go through in life. Like, Dr. Nelson Mandela. So I was visiting South Africa. I visited a couple of times. So I was visiting the room he was imprisoned in an island. And I could imagine. So that is how our Guruji in his young age practices meditation and reach the ultimate goal of self-realization. And I will be starting today, but I'm not sure. Let me see how far I could take you. Hemangini Basu. Hemangini Basu was the immediate elder sister of Acharya Swami Pranavananda ji Maharaj. Hemangini Basu was the immediate elder sister of Acharya Swami Pranavananda ji Maharaj. Her nickname was Buri. In home, Hemangini was called as Buri. Everybody knew her by this name. Village people always call her as Buri. When she was only 13 or 14 years of age, she was married to Devendra Basu, a resident of Baramganj village. When she was only 13 or 14 years of age, Buri was married to Devendra Basu, a resident of Baramganj village. After marriage, she was staying at the house of her father for the time being, waiting for her right age. Unfortunately, and very untimely, within 2 or 3 years after her marriage, her husband, Devendra Basu, passed away. You could imagine how sadness come in life. After marriage, she was staying at the house of her father for the time being, waiting for a right age. Unfortunately, and very untimely, within 2 to 3 years after her marriage, her husband, Devendra Basu, passed away. It was a very sad incident of her life. From that time on, she started to live at the house of her father permanently and lived a life of a widow. Hemangini Devi witnessed all spiritual transformation of her brother Vinod. She did everything for her brother and she had a very soft corner for him. Since Brahmachari Vinod was a vegetarian, now it was easy for him to get vegetarian meal because that is how the Hindu home, when husband leave for the other world, usually wife do not take non-veg food anymore. They live a life of austerity. That was we saw at our childhood days. So from that time on, she started to live at the house of her father permanently and lived the life of a widow. Hemangini Devi witnessed all spiritual transformation of her brother Vinod. She did everything for her brother and she had a very soft corner for him. Since Brahmachari Vinod was a vegetarian, now it was easy for Vinod to get vegetarian meal. So I think I will be concluding here today because our time is 1 hour. Let me say a quick prayer and then we'll be concluding today and I will take you to the next day, the other part of this topic. Let me say a prayer. Om Jnana Shakti Samarudha Tattvamala Vibhushita Bhukti Mukti Pradata Cha Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Deva Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om.